Or like, I just have a question. Why?
Oh,
Please
do you?
explain.
Do
Please
you,
explain.
Diane?
Diane always has a question, and she never she doesn't want the answer.
No.
That's the ironic part.
I'm Demi, theme park YouTuber, aka Magical Hijinks.
And I'm entertainment journalist Joey Nolfi, and we've both been diagnosed with terminal theme park obsession, and we're definitely going to spread it to you on the Park Peeps podcast.
We've got years of theme park knowledge, so join us as we serve piping hot takes, park tea, offer the best travel hacks and tips, and chat with guests in the theme park space.
So sit down, buckle in, and pull up on that yellow strap while we dispatch for the Park Peeps podcast.
It's called a salute to all nations, but mostly America.
Good evening and welcome back to the Park Peeps podcast, where we are recording live from our new political campaign wing, the headquarters of which is the size of approximately 6 spaceship Earths and is absolutely overflowing currently with millions of Disney adults gathered on the Disney Adult Election Eve to celebrate a momentous victory in the search for Disney Adult's new collective leader. We are going to cut in now to Demi live on the campaign room floor. Is there any movement on the election results? What are you seeing down there, Demi?
I'm not seeing any movement on the results, but I do see a bunch of Disney dude bros throwing back a bunch of Violet Sakes right now, and it's getting pretty rowdy.
Oh, what, are these protesters? Are these pro-Disney adults?
Oh, no, these are pro, Disney adults that are just, really psyched for this election, but they are becoming, increasingly louder.
Okay, we will keep an eye on that. And wait, hang on, Demi, I'm getting something from the control room. Hang in there, Demi. We are getting movement. Figment is approaching the stage arm in arm with Mickey Mouse to announce who the Disney adults have elected as our fearless leader and who will receive an animatronic in the Hall of Presidents. Demi, they're reading the ballot. It's our dear friend Adriane.
Wow, what a feat. And a landslide, decisive victory.
Wow.
And I've just been informed that Adriane has selected Park Peeps as her first coronation interview after her victory.
Oh my god, that is brilliant news. Let us usher her into the interview suite. Yes, she is. Okay, she is arriving. Demi. Let's get settled and give a warm welcome to our new Disney adult president and beloved icon of social media clapbacks. You know her from her HeyAdriane handles on Instagram and TikTok and her Drunk History podcast. Please welcome Miss Adriane.
Welcome, Madam President.
Yes, Madam President.
Victory at last. Thank you, guys. Whew. It's been a long, hard battle, but we got here, and that's what's important. Change is about to happen, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Wow, and we're so honored that you chose us to be your first place to come on after this win.
Couldn't think of a better place. They were like CNN or Park Peeps, and I was like, no contest.
No contest whatsoever. And also, we have to give a shout out to the generous donations from the PACs, the Pinocchio Action Committees, who have donated profusely to your campaign. All of the Figment Imagination dollars that have gone into this campaign. What a hard-fought race. And now we have you here.
Couldn't have done it without them.
We're so appreciative, Adriane, of you joining us, truly.
I'm thankful for the platform to spread the message. Thanks, guys. Big fan of your work.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And we are a big fan of your work, obviously. Love Adriane. I've been on Adriane's podcast a bunch of times, Drunk History. Yeah. So much fun over there. And just like the queen of those Disney adult comebacks, and honestly, Disney comebacks in general. I know you have a background in stand-up comedy, and wow, did you use that to your advantage?
Yes.
Well, we all build upon things from our past to get to our present, so that's it's definitely helped. I used to write roast jokes for people, so that's like right in the wheelhouse of people who are going to come and say things on my page. I'm like, oh, really? You want to step in the ring with the champ?
No idea who you're dealing with. Absolutely no idea. And that is that kind of wit and that voice that you have honed. It's so it's
the reason we all voted for you.
The reason we all voted for you, and the reason why we wanted you here today, because this episode is all about this, because the Disney adult debate has been raging for years. However, I feel like, and maybe our dear friend AJ, Disney Food Blog, with her new book, Disney Adults, maybe had something to do with this uptick in craziness that's going on, but it just seems like the vitriol online is becoming more and more crazy now than ever, especially with this video of the girl in the Winnie the Pooh. It's just, I know everybody listening knows exactly what video I'm talking about. It has been getting so much backlash, so we figured we need the expert here to break down what exactly is going on with this.
Well, I think hating on Disney adults has become a sort of like kind of social currency. It's low-hanging fruit. It connects people. There's this crowd of people that I've coined the joyless jury. And that's the people that get really amped up by like uniting on Disney adult hate, and they're out there and people want their attention. And so how do they get it? They go after people that are what they see as an easy target, but we're not an easy target anymore, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think I think people who've it's people that the joyless jury is the people that have confused cynicism with intelligence. And I don't want them to have power anymore. So I feel like with the things that they say, I think, like let's get into what their issues are, because they have the issues. We don't have issues. We're having fun. We're on the parks. We're on rides. We're eating churros. Like we don't have an issue. So what's going on with them? But yeah, it is a phenomenon. I think it's like a post-COVID phenomenon. Like Disney has become even way more popular. Like I'd say starting in like 2021, when the parks were like one of the few places that were open. And then we have a lot of people making content at the parks. We have a lot of adults making content at the parks. We're in a bit of a visibility. We're out there. We're out there, and we're showing our joy, and it's making a lot of people who are not very happy in their own lives mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I fully agree with you, and I think it's a lot of people on the other side. It's also more people watching the content more so than ever before, and it's reaching new people because they're all just sitting at home scrolling through TikTok during the pandemic. So it's like the double-edged kind of thing where it's like, yeah, there's a lot of more people making content and making this industry into what it is today. But then conversely, there's also more people watching it and moseying their way into the algorithm accidentally or purposely that you get far more opinions on it. But I just, before we get into the bulk of the discussion, I do just want to give some people an idea of what we are dealing with here. I just want to read. Demi sent me a lot of great video examples of this. I've certainly seen some of these out in the wild as well, but I just want to recap some of the nasty things that people have said about Disney adults in some of the videos that you have clapped back to and also elsewhere. And I'm not going to name them because I don't want to give them the attention, but just to quote a few, I'm going to pull out some things that some of these people have said to give people an idea of what we're dealing with here. So, and Adriane has taken a sip of her tea. She literally has tea.
Hear what they gotta say. That's fair.
Yeah, she's sipping from that tea. Okay, so just a few. Effing, and I bleeped it, effing Disney adults. I just don't get that one bit at all. Another one, I just don't understand why anybody would get married at Disney. I think it's weird. I don't believe in Disneyland or World without kids. I think you look creepy. Disneyland is for children. I think Disney adults, their hobby becomes their personality traits because the rest of the world no longer accepts them. The classic, I don't get it, and then probably the worst one I have ever heard. I physically recoiled when I saw this one. I actually hadn't seen this video, Demi, that you sent me before.
Yeah.
Disney adults are the worst type of human beings, behind racists. How unemployed do you have to be to make a trip to Disney every couple of months? Which made me laugh because I'm like,
I'm sorry, do you know how much Disney costs?
The price of Disney? You think that it's unemployed behavior to go to Disney?
I mean, which makes you realize how silly that is.
I could see your eyes were rolling whenever I was going through those.
Well, the thing is like those are such lazy prepackaged takes that we've seen a time and time again. You could put those words in 1,000 people's mouths on TikTok, on YouTube. Any sort of commentary creator that's not in the Disney zeitgeist is doing that content.
Yeah, because
they know it gets the attention of the joyless jury. They know it. They're playing to them.
Yeah, and it's not even clever. You know, it's so many of these, like you could take out the word Disney and put in a different verb or like, thing, whatever. And like, it could be anything. Like, it's there. Nothing is like a gotcha either. Nothing is clever. Nothing is
Right.
it is like pulling at our like mental strings of like, oh, they're tearing us down. No, because they're just, this is the most basic, like, this is the best you got, you guys.
Like this. We've heard it before.
I love when they call it an unpopular opinion.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
Really? Like, I've heard it 700 times. It's very popular.
I know the trigger words now when I'm watching a video, and before I even know that it's a stitch, I know that word's going to trigger Adriane. I know this phrase is going to trigger Adriane. I know she's got a response coming right after this.
I get texts from Joey like all the time of like, she did it again.
Yeah.
Well, I get tagged in them and I can't even wait. I'm at work the whole time. My leg is tapping and I'm like, I just can't wait to get home and get into this one. But they all start with, I'm going to say my unpopular opinion. Disney adults, I don't get that. And it's like,
or like, I just have a question. Why?
Oh,
Please explain,
Diane?
Yeah, Diane always has a question, and she never she doesn't want the answer.
No,
that's the ironic part. Is like, you could give her an answer. I've given very well educated answers to that question. Many people have,
yeah.
but they it's like their eyes glaze over. They're like,
they
don't want the answer,
right?
Because they're not looking for the answer. If they like saying to somebody, please explain to me why you like something, is a nonsensical question. You wouldn't say it in any other capacity. You wouldn't be like, please explain to me why you like the color blue. Like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. You're literally trying to play to a crowd, and we see through it. We see you, and it's so lazy.
Right. When did you make the decision that you were going to start clapping back? And like, what's like your intent when you do clap back at these people?
So funny story, the first time that made me start to think about this was, I had a friend of mine who's also a Disney adult who said to me, one time they were like talking about some type of Disney adult. Like, they were like, well, me, like, they were trying to like be, appeal, like, bond with me. Like, you and I, like, we're Disney adults, but we're not like that kind of Disney. We're cool, like, we're cool. And I'm looking at this person, and I really respect this person. I was looking at them and I'm like, why are you separating yourself from people? Like, what's going on here? Like, oh, you have an internalized hatred of Disney adults.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what's going. And so now, like, this happened, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, I'm recognizing that because if I rewind 5 years ago to myself, and people, like, I wasn't very out about going to Disney. I wasn't being like, oh, like, excited to tell people that I was going there in 2015. I kind of would dim it a little bit. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going with my sister with something we do to bond or whatever. So I had to wrestle with my own, and I heard my friend do this, and I was like, I'm not going to separate myself from anybody, because the only difference between someone being a cool Disney adult and somebody being what they deem as a non-cool Disney adult is that person's having fun, and you're being defensive of your life. And it really, like, led me to start thinking about it, and why we do it, even as Disney adults ourselves. When I started on TikTok in 2021, there was a lot of cool Disney adults on there. People that, like, their thing was to show that, here, you could dress like a cool Disney adult. You don't have to be like one of those Disney adults. And there's a lot of content like that. It's like, I'm a Disney adult, but I'm cool. And like, again, you're playing to the judgeless jury also. Yeah. Like, you're literally trying to get those people to pick you. Yeah. You're being a pick me. There's no reason for it. I think the most out there Disney adult is the coolest Disney adult, because that person doesn't care one iota what the joyless jury thinks.
Yeah.
Michael
to me, that is
we're talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, I mean, people hate on the plus size park hoppers. I'm like, they are the coolest people in the world to me. They don't care what those people think, and what is cooler than that. When people are just like, I'm having fun. I don't care what you're not obviously having fun. Yeah, you're helping people, and you're enjoying your life, and you're not ashamed of that, and you're visible, and like these people are like hiding behind a computer and telling you how you should be. Like, who wants these people's attention? I don't. I don't
Right.
want them to like me. I want the
Yeah.
plus size park hoppers to like me. I don't want those
Yes.
people to like me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
That's
Yes.
my
I
opinion.
think I feel like I officially said I was a Disney adult for the first time on your podcast, Adrian.
Yeah,
because
because we had you on to talk about being a Disney adult.
A breakthrough.
because
Yeah.
I always was like, well, I'm a theme park person and I'm like a Disney parks adult, but like you can't you can't really separate yourself from the category. So I think like the first time I was like, yeah, I guess I'm a Disney adult because like that is part of it. Like I mean, because some people think, well, if you're a Disney adult, you love the parks and the movies and like you have like your house is decorated like it, and like I think honestly, if you have any
Yes.
of those qualities, that could consider you a Disney adult,
And it doesn't matter like what somebody like, because everyone's gonna have their opinion of what a Disney adult is, and I'm a very park specific Disney adult.
Yeah.
I'm not into the movies. I don't have decor around my apartment. But regardless of if somebody projects that fantasy on me that they think I do,
Yeah.
I don't care. You
Yeah.
don't obviously know me. You don't know me well enough to know what my apartment looks like. You don't know me well enough to know what my taste in movies are. So I really don't care about your opinion. This is what I do, and if you knew me as a person, you would know that. And I don't care what your opinion is of what I am. If you think I'm someone that cries in front of the castle, that's your opinion of me. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who does cry in front of the castle,
Same.
Yeah.
no, I fully
I cried
do.
at the fireworks the last time I was there, and I've
See?
seen them a
I was
hundred times.
I was
Same.
crying at the Very Merry Fireworks. I cry. People don't like those, and yet when that simply having, I just start bawling.
I cry at Disney ducks. When I see a Disney duck, I
Oh.
cry. They're just, I mean, so much
Oh.
can make me cry, but
I've named them. I'll walk past and I'll be like, "There's Gary. He's still here. I love him."
You guys,
Yeah, no, I like.
you guys, I was
But
crying
Demi,
today.
same about those fireworks
Yeah.
at Mickey's Not So. I watched the live stream of them, and I was crying watching the live stream of them. They're
I
beautiful.
fully just started crying out of nowhere today, thinking about how Muppet Vision is gone. It's been so many months.
all that Gonzo
So,
outfit.
yeah.
I was posting my Gonzo video, and I'm just like sitting there crying. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
God.
I love that for you.
I But I
Feel the
am,
feelings.
Adrian, I am glad that you brought up the point about the, I have it in the notes as in-party fighting among the
Mm.
Disney adults, because I do think that that's an interesting topic. But so I was going to ask what you thought of that. You already answered my question there, but I did, like Demi, find myself doing that as well. And I still find myself doing it to this day. And it's like getting to the root of why we feel the need to distance ourselves from, even, like you're saying, even if it is an obsession with the Disney brand, or
Yeah.
somebody fully leaning into their truth and their happiness with this company. I don't understand why there is a shame in that, because you have to look at where the company is over the past 100 years, what it started as and what it is today.
Sure.
And the History Channel just literally did an entire miniseries about how Disney shaped the country and then the world. So it's natural to assume that something that has had as much of an impact over the past 10 decades would be something that people love so much. So it's getting to that root of why even Disney adults. Because, I always used to say, well, I'm a theme parks person, which I did. I was I grew up being a coaster enthusiast. That was first and foremost my thing. And then I transitioned into becoming a theme park adult. And it's like people who like, or foodies, or people who like restaurants, they go to the best restaurants. And people who like theme parks, you go to who does them best. And who does them best? Disney and Universal. So that makes sense to me there. But I just getting to the root of why it seems to be that Disney is the thing that, even among Disney adults, is the shameful thing. Do you have any perspective on why specifically that is?
Absolutely. I think it's because Disney is feminine coded. I think it's soft, it's nostalgic, it's colorful, it's sentimental, it's about connection. And I think those traits are not openly accepted in adulthood, or respected. They're pathologized. So I think when, things like, if you were into like sports, if you were into video games, if you were into those are very masculine coded, and for some reason in adulthood we see those as acceptable forms of performing adulthood. We see Disney as childlike. We don't think it's acceptable for adults to be engaging in anything sort of whimsical. We want them to have serious interests. We want adults to go to Europe and walk on a cobblestone street. And we want them to read fantasy novels, and all these things are exactly like Disney. They're coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
They're not mental illnesses. That's another big one that people love to throw out there. They're not mental illnesses. They're coping mechanisms, and whether they're like they could be coping mechanisms can be like maladaptive or adaptive, but in either form they're not a mental illness. They're coping mechanisms the same way that marathoning a reality show is. But for some reason, if you do that, you say like, well, I like to sit on my couch and marathon a reality show for 12 hours. aren't I so interested? Like, it's like that's an ironic form of, people think that if you like something ironically, we're very concerned about it, that we're performing adulthood the right way.
Yeah.
And if we say we're into Disney, then we're feeling like people are thinking we're not performing it the right way. And society really hates anything feminine coded. They really do.
I know. I never really heard of it put it that way, like feminine coded. And I think you like really hit the nail on the head, because you don't really hear people yelling about universal people.
No.
Oh, sorry. Like or like people that go to just like regional theme parks, you know, like, or coaster people, or like water slide people even. Like, how come people aren't complaining about all those water slide POVs, huh? I mean,
it's aggressive, it's thrilling, they see it as being a little bit more acceptable and a little bit more adult. But if you go on Small World, that's too whimsical. Why enjoy that?
Yeah.
You should be trying to get your adrenaline up.
Yeah.
Why? My adrenaline's up already. Like when I drive my car, I don't need it up anymore.
My adrenaline goes up when I see a child telling me to clap or to do, like, you know, the signs that they hold up at the Pinocchio Village House right across the
Oh, I love that.
No. My adrenaline goes up because I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
I love it. I love it from inside Pinocchio's Village. I love watching. I was watching somebody try to do like rock, paper, scissors with the people on the boats, and I'm just watching them like do it frustratingly for the whole entire time I'm eating my crappy flatbread, and I'm like, this is so entertaining. There's so much to watch here.
The crappy flatbread. I have to tell you, like, I've been really into the crappy flatbread.
Oh, I love crappy flat. I was eating it, Demi. I love crappy.
I'm gonna have a video out, spoiler, soon about like an update. Did I put it out? No, I don't remember. I don't think I did yet. About like an updated quick service that. Did I put that out yet of Magic Kingdom? I really don't
Demi
even
thought
know.
Today was Thursday, so
I did. I already put it out. The video's already out. I don't know what day it is. Of top 5 quick service, and like my list has changed over the years, and I'm like explaining as to why the Pinocchio Village House pizza is on here, and I'm like, listen, I'm from New York. This is not good pizza, but it's great because it's not good.
It's not good, but it's great. That's a very particular distinction that I always say too, because people will say that about us New Yorkers. They're like, why are you eating pizza at Disney? And like, it's not good, but it's great.
It makes me feel better. You know exactly what you're getting. It's consistent too over there.
Yes. I love the taste of chemicals.
I know.
Oh yes.
It's like a really good frozen pizza.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But I actually want to bring it back to like in crowd fighting, because there was something that I think a reason why people would want to separate themselves, and I can totally get it, and it is because there are some Disney adults, and this is for like any community. Like, you can't like lump a community as everybody, because there's different people in every community. It's those really like intense people. Like, for example, after the first Very Merry Parade of the year, there was people online screaming that Tally was not in the parade.
Yeah.
And it's like,
did we think he was going to be this year?
And let me explain it to you. Tally is in the parade. I saw her. It was a girl in a dress.
Tally's a character.
And that's where it's like, you guys are like making this so hard for the rest of us, kind of a thing. It's like, stop it. You're embarrassing not only yourself, you're embarrassing like our whole community. You seem weird that you're like stalking this cast member. This is the behavior that I think a lot of people in the Disney adult category are trying to separate themselves from.
Well, that's not specific to a Disney adult. That's just a weird person.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just gonna say, all fandoms like have extreme fans.
Yeah.
Like, not every sports fan breaks their TV when a 22-year-old fumbles a ball, but some of them do. You know, like, and I'm sure like a lot of sports fans are like, I do not claim that guy.
Yeah.
I just like football.
Yeah.
And I that's how I feel. Like when I like I saw that a video of a woman doing that, and I'm like, and she had like the tally actor from last year on her shirt.
On her shirt, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it was me. It was me.
Big fan of his work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, she's also, I mean, I could pathologize her, but she's also trying to like connect. That's a desperate attempt to connect by being like, I'm so obsessed with this person who played this character in this Christmas parade. Like it's not it's not normal, but we don't claim them.
No.
I think when I think of like the Disney adult internal hating, I also don't think we should. I don't think people, if you're a Disney adult and you're not in content creation, I don't think you should be like claim influencers as that's a different thing. You could be a Disney adult and an influencer, but if your influencer side is not great, that doesn't mean that Disney adults are bad. Like if you're a bad influencer, doesn't mean you're a bad Disney adult. You know, so I more don't like when people who are Disney adults try to separate themselves from other levels of Disney adults. I had a guy write it in my comments on that video, the one that I just posted yesterday, that he said something like, you know, there are levels. Like I think I'm like a D1 Disney adult. Like he was like, you know, some of them are out of control, but like I just listen to the streams and I go with my wife, but I'd never go by myself. I'd never meet a character. And it's like, well, no, like that's like being in a party and standing in the corner and going, I'm not at the party, I'm just watching. You know, like you're like, what are you doing?
You're still
like,
there.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like different terror threat levels like we have in national security. It's like terror threat level 1, 2, 3, 4,
It's
D1,
really
D2, D3.
I think it's just so desperate to be picked. I think it's a very like I think that guy who wrote that in my comments is literally saying like, don't feel about me the way you feel about the girl that in the Winnie the Pooh video. You know, like.
Oh, that's so crazy, that Winnie the Pooh video that people are having.
That made me so sad. I sent that to Adriane.
Yeah.
You did. That's how I found it. You sent it to me. Yeah.
I was like, please attack.
Well, we do definitely have some questions about that. I want to go back to just briefly the what we were talking about before, these clapbacks that you sort of have in these TikTok videos that you make, because every single one is so good. Have any of the people that you have stitched or responded to ever responded at length to one of your clapbacks, or do they mostly just let it go?
Never. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Crazy it is.
Never once even like responded in a comment. Like, you know, like never. No, because I think at that point, like, what can they say?
Yeah. They know they effed up.
Like, I mean, like, because I got personal, but they got personal first. I mean, like, if you're gonna lump an entire group of people and say something about them, then like, yeah, we're gonna talk about what's going on with you, and because you're the one with the issue. So I think like when I do that, I think that they're kind of like, well, I don't know what, you know. I've had other people like respond, not for them, but like be like, well, I kind of agree with them, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, you know, he's right. The parks are overcrowded because of this. Like that's one that's you know, the parks, Disney adults are ruining the parks. We've made the parks overcrowded. We're the reason that the parks are expensive.
Yeah.
And that's one I grapple with, only because it's not 100% wrong. It's not our fault that the parks are overcrowded or more expensive, but we are part of the ecosystem that has made it, that has told Disney there's adults out there that are willing to spend money on this. So I'm going to keep letting them spend the money. But I also think like, yeah, we may be part of the reason why the parks are, you know, there's people in the parks, but we're that by essence, then we're also keeping the lights on, because what's the with anything in life, I think I've heard people say this about like jazz or opera. Like if there's no audience for it, it eventually will die.
Yeah.
Like culturally, things will die. Like if Disney Disney parks have a huge audience for them right now, and that's a good thing because the alternative is that the park stays stagnant and because they don't have the money. They won't keep expanding them if the parks aren't making money.
Right.
So they stay stagnant, and maybe they eventually even close. Like not in years to come. You see that happening with parks. I mean,
Local parks, yeah.
When I was younger, SeaWorld was amazing. Like SeaWorld was, you wanted to go to SeaWorld. Now SeaWorld is kind of like dying a slow death. Like it's not doing as well as it was in the 90s. If there doesn't become an audience for it, if people don't become SeaWorld adults or whatever, like then it will eventually run its life cycle.
And the companies themselves are actively courting the adults because it doesn't make it. You don't have a business without adults, and that you don't incorporate things like bars at the Grand Floridian or a California Adventure, yellow cups that have become a whole trend at California Adventure on social media and in the parks. You don't incorporate those things into the parks when you are not specifically knowing your audience, and that a bulk of it that keeps the business afloat is an adult. Because you know what those kids are not doing? Working for that money that buys the yellow cups.
I mean, you can the proof alone is Jollywood Nights. That is not a kid event. Like, yes, kids can go on the rides and hang out with meet some characters, but like that is an adult event. If I've seen an adult
event, that's for adults. Yeah, I mean, so many things are like but even back when Disneyland was first open, they had date night that was specifically not for children. Right. Like they had date night. Now they have Pride Night. Now they have D23 events. Like they have events specifically geared towards adults. Now, yes, it's because they know that will go. So we that is true.
Yeah.
But also I think there's this sort of I think people like what people will say is they'll be like, well, it wasn't like that in the past. Like Disney's so unaffordable now. But why then? But that's like some sort of like weird disillusionment with the past, because I like a lot of adults that go to Disney now will say like, my family couldn't afford to take us to Disney when I was a kid. Yeah. I can go now. So when was Disney ever so affordable? Like my family, when they would take us to Disney, my parents would work this extra job. They do like prom photography in the months of May and June. They'd get this money, and then we'd go to Orlando. We wouldn't have money to stay at the Grand Floridian. We'd stay at some hotel on iDrive right near SeaWorld. It was called the Sheraton World Resort. It was $30 a night. We freaking loved it. I don't even want to say shitty. I wish it was still there. It was amazing. But it was not. It was a $30 a night hotel. We would have Denny's for breakfast. That was a $2.99 Grand Slam. My dad would get $1 Checkers hamburgers. Like it was. We were figuring out ways to do it to make it affordable, even in the 90s. Like it wasn't. Right. It's not. It's expensive now, but it's not just because it's always been something that people have worked hard for and saved for to take their family to Disney World. It's not a new thing. Because I've got that video. I've got a guy saying, Disney adults, please stay home because it's expensive for me to take my family there.
Yeah.
That makes my blood boil.
Literally, I was so blessed that my mom was able to take me one time, and a lot of that had to do like with we had a family member that lived nearby, which made it a little easier, and but as like a single mom, like that was my one and only Disney trip as a kid, and so, and I talked about this on HeyAdriane's podcast too, and it's like I became into the parks when I was an adult and had adult money, and it's like. When did you expect me to go to this?
It wasn't affordable. It's never been like this affordable place. It was more affordable. Like I think that what they've done is they've started to tax luxury, in a sense. Like it's now tiered so heavily. There are all these extra experiences that are expensive. And I do remember like with the base ticket, you could buy like a 10-pack of tickets, and then like you could use 3 of them on this trip and then save the others.
Oh my
And
God.
so the flexibility is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've made it harder to like come back and different things like that. But I think that's like, it's Disney adults. So we're some of it, we're part of it, but it's also Disney, and it's also the economy. There's so many factors that go into why it's expensive and why it's overcrowded, and it's not just because Disney adults are there. And also, sorry, one more thing. People will say like, well, there wasn't as many like child-free adults in the going to Disney in the 90s because there wasn't as many child-free people.
Yeah.
Right.
That has changed. Like now we have the millennials and Gen X are a generation where that is a huge part of,
Yes.
like,
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of child-free adults. So we have everything, not just Disney, has more child-free people added because there's more child-free people.
Yeah. That's what I say all the time. I'm like, I really appreciate all of the companies that are, I know that they're benefiting from it because they're making money, but it's like, listen, we're so many, we're a huge group of childless millennials, or even just millennials in general, that have been through a lot from, like our entire adult lives and beforehand, and especially millennial, because like, we grew up in the Disney Renaissance era too. So it's like we already have that connection.
It's formative.
Our formative years. We're like deeply a depressed and oppressed generation. And it's like we are trying to find the slightest bit of joy to bring to our lives. And like they know it. Like that's what I said to Joey on our last week's podcast about how like Baloo and King Louie from not Jungle Book, but like Tailspin, a show from the 90s, is a character meet and greet. Like they know who's coming to these events. They know who the market is for. And actually, remember, Joey, when we did our Disney commercial episode, this was the 90s, and that old couple that went to Disney. So they were promoting couples going to Disney back in the 90s too.
They were combating this all the way back then. And I remember there was the one commercial that I couldn't find for that episode, but I still talked about it. There was 2 that we included. And I think, Demi, you and I both had that commercial on our list, and because we specifically for this reason, because you could see them planting that seed back then of, it was, Adriane, have you seen it? It's the one where
I know what it is, where they were like, there's like a couple. I know the exact commercial you're talking about. I remember that commercial. Yeah,
it's like a brother and sister.
No, it was a husband and wife in the kitchen.
Oh,
and she's
that's
like,
right.
Your parents got to Disney, and he's like, I don't know why they're there. Like they're gonna get bored really quick. Mom's not gonna do anything. Dad's gonna be whatever.
And Grandma's going down the water slide.
And they're at like Pleasure Island. Remember Pleasure Island dancing?
Oh,
like you know what I mean. So it's like this was established a long time before us.
A long time ago.
We were targeted a very long time ago, and they've kept us there. And it's kind of like that saying, like, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like
they won.
Like we are the players. This is the game, and we were a part of it. And also, like, your child, like your Disney childhood years, like if you say hypothetically, like there's maybe 10 years where you're a child that you're like going, or let's say 18. Let's even say 18. 18 years that you're a child going to Disney. But God willing, we all have a lot more living to do than that. Mm-hmm. Like, what are we supposed to do
with those
from
feelings?
19 to 100? being loose here. What are we supposed to do in that time? We're supposed to just sort of be quiet and sit on our couches and check out
and
of life.
Dump those feelings that you said built 18 years worth of fondness for. You're just supposed to dump that out of your life and just disregard it and just go with whatever the latest Barstool guy wants you to feel. Like it just, I'm sorry, sir, that you had that issue, but I do not have that issue.
I also want to bring up the point too of like the safety factor of being in Disney and in the theme park in general. You're going through a metal detector, your bags are getting scanned. Like there is a feeling, and also of just like, not even just like that kind of safety of like weapons, but like safety of like, I wouldn't say maybe 100% because who knows, there could be a crazy person that goes in one day, but like I don't feel like I'm going to like get like hurt by someone or hit on, or any type of weird interactions that I could have in my regular day life in New York City. So it is this feeling of you're in this bubble, and it's so nice to be able to not have to worry about anything else. Like you're not on the subway trying to, make sure no one pushes you on the tracks, or
you're on the monorail making sure nobody pushes you on the tracks.
True. Or tries to like pickpocket you, or Showtime. Different types of Showtime.
Yeah, different types of Showtime. Those the others pool games, and you're like, oh man.
But it's nice to like, you can be in a park and like in a Disney park, like, and and just sit on a bench, versus like if you're sitting on the bench, outside of a park, anything can happen. You're out to the elements, but here you are in a controlled environment, and it's really something that I think people forget about. That we're so worried all the time. Like we can't even go to the movies without feeling like a sense of worry anymore. And I love that we have this place to go to where we don't have to think about that. We can just enjoy ourselves.
And I also think that as much as I joke about not liking to engage with people with children at Disney, I do think that there is this insane argument that we were just talking about. Like, if you don't have kids, stay away from Disney. I think it just shows a fundamental misunderstanding of not only why the Disney parks were founded by walls in the first place, but it just proves that these people have no authority to discuss the place that they're attempting to quote unquote defend from this. And I think that is also the beauty of a place like Disney, because where else can you go other than maybe a movie theater that is intended for the entertainment and caters in such specific little minute ways to very, very big grand ways an audience as different as somebody who is literally 95 years old or somebody who is 4 years old can experience the exact same thing and get the pretty much at the core the same element of joy out of it as what is intended by the creator. And it's because it is so sensory, and it plays to not only the emotion of what they're presenting, but the taste and the smell and the sight, and it's just a sensory experience that appeals on a human level. And Walt wanted these parks to be something that adults could do with their kids and to have that same joy. So it's like when you're saying don't go to Disney if you don't have children, it's like, no, you're missing the point. Like, it's for everybody. And it also is so disrespectful to, there are some people who can't have children, and there are some people who
have lost children.
People lost children.
Yeah, like it's very, who's the arbitrator of who can go? Like that argument is always weird, where
That's
they're like, well, you can only go if you have kids.
Yeah.
So what about grandparents?
I was just going to say that. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. But it's so you can't, there's no way to regulate that. And they know that. They know that we can't do that. And by the way, Demi, I 100% agree with you about the safety thing, especially if you're a solo traveler.
Yeah.
I'm a solo traveler because I'm a middle-aged woman and I'm not married.
You're not middle-aged.
I'm middle-aged. I'm in the middle.
You're not in the middle.
I'm in the middle of life. It's okay. I'm a middle-aged woman, and I don't have like I'm not married, and I don't always have friends ready to go on vacation. So I've had to say, like, if I don't want to sit home, I have to go and do things. And yeah, Disney is a safe place, and even safe in terms of like my understanding of the landscape, of my being comfortable, not having to like take a map out and walk around a place or a European city that I'm not familiar with. Like that creates that, like you said, that same anxiety, like from home. And the walking thing is like, we live in Demi and I live in New York City, but like I love to go for walks. I love to go for walks at night. I can't do that. I can't do that here safely without like worrying constantly. But I love like walking around the World Showcase at night with the lights on, and I'm like, oh, I can walk around at night with like the fire and everything like that. I love that. I love that.
You can't get lost. You can't get lost.
You're gonna get lost.
You're gonna hit that berm at some point, and then you get turned right around.
Along with the safety thing too, it's like, listen, like, people have their opinions about food or whatever in the parks, but like there are some really amazing world-class dining in Disney. And like if you go to France, like, you know, I'm sure you'll have decent food, you know, wherever, but like you're probably going to end up in a tourist trap. It's really hard to find like these like real places to go. Like, you know, you don't want to get scammed. People get scammed all the time when they leave the country. Or even people, like there's like scammers in New York City, like on the street, like you want the CDs or something, like trying, you know, people handing out the CDs. Never take a CD from anyone if you come to New York, please. Because then they're going to be like, well, now you need to pay for the CD. Please don't do that. So it really is like this whole, you know, it's not just safety in, as I was saying, in weapons, but just in peace of mind of like, you are in this bubble and you're going to be taken care of. People know when you are in Epcot in France that like you are in Florida. You are not in real France. You're in shorts.
Yeah, you're in France.
You're in shorts and a t-shirt, and they're not going to be disgusted by you if you can't speak French. You know what I mean? So it's that. And you know what I was thinking before with the elderly people, because I brought my grandma this year for the first time since.
Oh, I love her.
I've never been with her before. She took my other cousins are like 10 and 12 years older. So she went when they were young, and like it was like Epcot 80s, like peak Epcot, right? And so I took her to Epcot, and I'm thinking to myself, like, as we're talking about this, like, you know, people complain about Disney adults, but like, find me a video on the internet of someone complaining about an old lady going to Disney, because they're not going to, because they're infantilizing them and thinking cute.
It's like you can't win with this. It's so
you can't win, no, because they're joyless jewelry. That's what it is. Yeah. And by the way, and you were right about that, Joey, when you're talking about it's so nice that it's multi-generational, something that's so multi-generational. It reminds me of that Christmas song where they go like for kids from 1 to 92.
Yeah.
Like that I always loved that lyric of that song, because I was like, I'm here with like my family, and we're babies and we're all like and grandparents, but we're all loving this holiday and this moment together. And that's the same thing with Disney, is that we all can be in this place and we can all love it, and it's not going to be like, well, like this isn't really for me, which I sometimes feel in other theme parks. I feel like sometimes I don't feel like things are for me in other theme parks, but I always feel like I can find things that are for me in Disney, and anybody of any age can.
Right. Yeah. And I think also with in terms of being older, and something that I've learned as I'm getting older, and I've had this conversation with my grandma, and I actually just watched this movie with June Squibb, and she loved June Squibb, and she, like, in the movie is saying, like, you know, I'm in my 90s, but in my head I feel the same way as I felt as I was 16. And you know, we like, and I do too, like in my own,
I do too, yeah.
It's like you don't realize it, and it's like you're literally, you're this, you don't, you may, yes, you'll age, you'll feel your age, maybe physically. Not you, Joey. You're only 19.
No, yeah, I'm 19. I don't age.
Forever 19.
But, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, like, why is it cute when an old person, yes, but why is it cute when an old person goes to Disney, but has the same mentality of somebody who's 50, 40, 30, even 16. So that's what I'm saying. So it goes back to that kids from 1 to 92 thing. Like, we really don't grow up. Like, we get, we can figure out how to live our lives and mature.
We get wisdom. I do think with age comes wisdom, but it doesn't necessarily mean you change what you like.
Right.
All of a sudden you're like, oh, well, now I like bills. Like, you know, like
taxes. I love them.
Yay! Like, oh, Home Depot. Like, you don't just people eventually.
I like Home Depot.
I love Home Depot. I go to Home. I love the smell of Home Depot. I go for the plants.
I go for that giant goofy Christmas animatronic.
Yes, it's good too.
Yeah,
but yeah, like they think you're supposed to just your whole personality changes with each decade of your life, and like I went to Disney with my grandma when she was 80. We went to Disneyland Paris, and we went on Tower of Terror when she was 80. She still to this day is like, she's in her 90s now, and she's like, that's the best ride. I'm like, I bond on that because that's my favorite ride. And like, she's like, oh, it's so much fun. Like, so glad I did that at 80. There's like, you don't say like, well, you can't go on it now, you're 80. You can go on it whenever, as long as you can go on. That's the wonderful thing.
I took my grandma on Soarin', and she was like closing her eyes. She hated it. She thought it feels like you're up high.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think she could have done that when she was 30. So there you go. Because she has this, like, she was not always the biggest prize person.
Listen, what we're talking about is so indicative of why these
what
experiences...
did you just call me?
Oh my God, this is the second episode in a row you've done this to me. It's so indicative of what these parks do and do so well, and why they have the lasting appeal that they do, because they're not disposable. They are not things that you grow out of. They are things that change. The parks, yes, they change, but they are so... They're structured in a way that it is sort of to guide you through life in certain ways. And it almost makes me emotional to talk about now, because it's like you can see why kids enjoy what they enjoy about it when they're younger. And then it sort of flips when I always get emotional when I see the TikTok videos of the parents filming their kids meeting the characters for the first time or whatever. And it's like, yes, did we spend thousands of dollars to get here and give thousands of our dollars to a corporation that is taking over the world? Yes, absolutely. However, you cannot ignore that the flipping happens when you then have a different appreciation of it, when you see the kid and the magic in their eyes when they see Mickey and they go, oh, Mickey, for the first time. And then it's like the parent filming that was that kid at one point, and that's why it's so special to them. And it becomes a different thing that changes, your relationship to it changes as you get older. And it's such a dynamic thing, and it's so much more than just... The whole experience of theme parks in general just transcends, well, is it for kids or is it for adults? It doesn't have to be for one or the other, because we're humans and we have dynamic emotions that can be applied to especially very sensory things like this. So
right.
it just, it makes absolutely no sense to me. And I don't understand why. And my question for you, Adriane, after all of that is, why can people see these perceived issues in Disney adults, but that they can't see that it's essentially the same thing in people who are NFL or MLB fans, or people who make hunting or biking or fitness their entire happy personality? Why do they fixate on it with Disney people and they can't see it when it's wearing a quarterback's name on your back and watching him on TV every Sunday?
What's a quarterback? I'm just kidding.
I mean, I think that I think it's the opposite of feminine coded. I think it's because it's masculine coded.
Yeah.
I think it's masculine coded, and it's just, we have to remember that like high school's never over.
Yeah.
You know, like people are always trying to just say, like, please like me, please pick me, don't think I'm weird, don't think I'm one of those people, like, please, like, you like, I now look at a lot of these people and I feel really sorry for them. I really do. And that's why people say in my videos, like, why are you so calm? And I'm like, because I feel very sorry for them, because I know that comes from a place of fear, of with aging, with visibility, with all of these things, with just permission to feel emotions. Like, you talk about the perspectives of, like, experiencing the magic versus, like, witnessing the magic. Those things are both magical, because you're just like, I think there's beauty in, like, still believing in the magic even after you understand the trick, which goes back to, like, when people were talking about the woman in the Winnie the Pooh costume, and they were like, doesn't she realize there's an adult in there? It's like, of course she does.
Yeah.
It's out of control for you to think she doesn't. But what she's doing right there is she's choosing to believe in the magic even while knowing the trick. And that, to me, is, like, so great to be able to tap into that and say, I want to give Winnie the Pooh a hug. I know, like, in my subconscious, I know who Winnie the Pooh is, but I want to suspend that for 5 minutes, and I want to give Winnie the Pooh a hug, because, like, it's going to feel good for that little inner child of me to give Winnie the Pooh the hug. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with like, I don't believe the person in the costume is doing what that guy is doing. I think the person in the costume is very, well, like, a lot of people were in the comments like, hey, I'm a character, and I love it. I love that people still get to feel that magic.
Most of them do. Most character performers are doing it because they believe in it too and want to create the magic for the people.
Yeah. It's like that video that I sent you last week, Demi, that I was so obsessed with. That Figment video it's just that Adrian. I don't know if you saw this video that's been going around on TikTok, but somebody, I mean, it's very rare to see Figment outside, and somebody actually captured a video of Figment outside. I believe he was right outside the Imagination Pavilion, and I don't know what he was doing out there, but this character actor. And it just speaks to the nuance of what we're talking about, of how these things are so complex. It's not, a lot of people think it's superficial to be moved by Disney and to love these parks, but it really is so much deeper, because something as simple as a character who's usually relegated to being inside, his entire ride and land, mini land essentially, is dedicated to the education of connecting, never letting go of your imagination and the balance that can be, but also tying that something so powerfully to what you do physically have in your body, like sense and touch and smell. He literally teaches you about all of those things in the ride. So he's expanding your horizons to so many different things, mentally and physically. But to see him outside and this character actor just doing something as simple as opening their arms and looking up into the sun and spinning around and then walking over to some flowers and pointing at them and going, I want to go down there. And it's like, that is a genius character actor that is tying this whole story together. And it's such a complex thing that shouldn't be shamed. It should be celebrated for the performance that it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that's what people don't, when people are genuinely curious of why we go to Disney World, everyone will have a different opinion, like reason why they enjoy the place or Disneyland or Universal, wherever. But like a lot of people don't realize that like people that enjoy this are people that also enjoy performance and like the that there's a ensemble of people that are coming together they're called the cast, and they're coming together to put you in the center of a show.
Yep.
And they're doing little things like what you said, this kinetic energy that's going on. And when you witness it, you're like, oh my, this is so special. Like I'm witnessing something that will never be duplicated. It'll never be like going to see a Broadway show, Demi. Like, I'm going to see something like that where you're witnessing something that will never happen again, but you were like a part of that little bit of magic. And you could go and you could do it again, and it could be a different thing. And like, for me, that's what I love. I love that. I love, like, if I'm on Main Street, all of a sudden I hear the band come out, and I'm like, what are they going to play today? And like hearing the band, and then like seeing the castle, and it's a sunny day. Like, that's one of those moments where I just want to soak that up. I can't explain it, because it's like, when do I ever randomly see a band at a parade? How often does that happen?
Yeah.
When do I ever? I don't see them I don't go to football games, so I don't see anybody get a band come out. It's a very cool thing, and I think, if people really want understanding, they have to experience it. Like, I can't tell you it. You have to go. And if you're not going to go, then you don't have to go. But don't judge me for going, because you have no idea what's going on there. And by the way, most of those people, like Matt Walsh and those people that say these things, have never been to Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to go to it and be open to it. You can't just go to judge it. You go and be open to it, because you will see those things. And like, every time it happens to me with Disneyland more than Disney World, to be honest. But like, it's just that keeping your own emotions, like in that little Rolodex of emotions that you have to keep in your heart to like constantly reset and guide yourself. It's like, every time I'm at Disneyland and I round that corner and I see that castle, it's like, you get the feeling and
feels.
But it's all due to, like you're saying, you also don't lose sight of the fact that for marveling at this show that is being put on, and that you're stepping into a performance in a world that is unlike anything else. And it's so complex and very nuanced.
I had a thought while you guys were talking, people like judging people for seeing characters in the parks, right? But no one batted an eye when everyone wanted to watch Art the Clown at Horror Nights this year. Like, also performance, like watching Art the Clown. That
feminine
was
coded. He's baby girl feminine coded,
and he is baby girl feminine coded. But he really is.
But because he's associated with horror. Correct. He's not as feminine. He's not associated with whimsy.
Yes.
He's feminine coded, but it's the whimsy. Yeah.
Right. But that's that exactly, you really hit the nail on the feminine coded part of it all, because that's really the difference. Because you're not going to see people on the internet be like, They know that that's not really Art the Clown, right? And it's like,
right. You never see. You know, that's a good point. You don't.
You
no,
because it's
you don't
baby
hear
girl.
people say anything about mascots at football. They're not like the people will take a photo with a mascot and they'll be like, "Oh,
do you know how many people love Gritty? I love Gritty too." And like, they would never say anything bad about Gritty.
Do you know what we have in Pittsburgh?
No.
That guy with the horn nose,
that's
right?
The Philly Flyer.
That's the Philly Flyer. Okay.
We have.
Philly Fanatic. I mean, Philly Fanatic.
We have pierogies at the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The pierogi is a mascot?
Oh, yeah. At the Pittsburgh Pirates games, they have pierogi races, and they come out and they run. They're little pierogies with faces.
I love
it.
Run.
It is
adorable.
my favorite thing. And also, Demi, we have to clarify and correct an issue or retraction. We know that there are people in character costumes except Jeters. Jeters is real. Jeters is a real thing, and he has real emotions, and I disappointed him severely by beating him in rock, paper, scissors.
At Kennywood.
Yes, at Kennywood.
Go check out the Kennywood video if you have.
Yes, he is real. But, Adriane, there are even, like, you brought up the Winnie the Pooh thing, which we do want to talk about just a little bit, because there are even political figures getting in on this. I mean, a former member of the West Virginia House and a January 6th self-described in his ex-bio political prisoner, he calls himself, called out that sweet woman crying over meeting Winnie the Pooh, and the video has caused a lot of division, but there is a theme park reporter named Dirk Libby who responded with one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen in my life. It says, "None of the Disney adults I know stormed the Capitol." So, Adriane,
thank you.
Did you?
That's our claim to fame.
Can I tell you guys? I know exactly where I was when January 6th happened. I was online for "It's a Small World."
Yes, Demi, that's the best alibi ever.
We win.
Yes. Yeah, another win for the DAs.
This video though, outside
of that's wild.
Yeah.
So this is a political pundit.
Well, he said he calls himself a, quote, political prisoner of January 6th. So I'm assuming that means he was at the Capitol. Which I don't know. But first of all, Adriane, did you ghostwrite that tweet? I know you ghostwrote that tweet. Second.
I wish. That's brilliant.
It's so good. But why do we think does it maybe tie back to what we're saying about feminine coded again as to why this video because it seems like this video in particular is picking up in ways that other ones haven't in a while. This woman.
This one's a new one, and we will see it a lot because what was happening when I watched any of the ones on like YouTube, particularly when they do the commentary, they show every one of them shows the exact same videos. I know exactly the ones.
Yep.
They're going to show the girl crying in front of the cat when she first sees the castle for the first time wearing the purple shirt.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go show the girl crying when she hugs Goofy, and they're going to show the 40-year-old princesses have arrived at Disneyland. Those are the three videos that they're always going to show. So this one's now entered in the fray, and we're going to see it happen over. They've got a new one and this guy's skit that he did with it. I mean, it's in terms of comedy, we got to give him his flowers. It's funny,
kind of funny. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny in that he knows he's a comedian. He did a good job with it, so that just is going to make it amplified like 1,000,000%. But I mean, we've had. As Disney adults, like we had Scott Jennings go on CNN. He's a broadcaster and say that we should all be banished to Alligator Alcatraz. And
what?
He said that on the news. Oh yeah, he said Disney adults straight to Alligator Alcatraz. He wants us all to go there and we're weird and we were and they use the P word a lot when some people say these things and pretty and perfect, practically perfect in every way. But yeah, like we've had a fair share of people that you would think would have a little bit of like decorum say some wild things. Again, but we have to remember who they're pandering to. Yeah. They're pandering to the joyless jury, and we have to just. I think our power as Disney adults is when we all like as a group say, "I don't care what the joyless jury thinks. Say whatever you want about Disney adults and get their attention, but we're not looking for it. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the attention of the I respect Disney adults, people that are living out loud and proud and are joyful so much more. That is where I think it's very cringe people want to talk about we're calling us cringe. I think it's very cringe to want people that are very unhappy to like them. I think it's way cooler to want people that are very comfortable with themselves to like me, and that I will stand by that, and that's how we reclaim our power. We've seen it with other communities. Obviously, there's many communities who have literally had to come out and say, "I'm not going to dull who I am to make you feel comfortable," and that's who I look to when I'm like those. There are many communities that have said, "No, no, no, I'm not going to do it. Sorry, you got to deal with your. I'm going to deal with mine," and so I think that's how we. If some political person, if he doesn't have anything to do, what are you doing? What are you avoiding doing, sir, that you're writing this tweet? Like, what, is there no other work for you to be doing?
Yeah.
I think there is. 2025 has been rough. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, on that note, I mean, you did just say a lot, but what is your one final message that you'd give to Disney adults and to the Disney adult haters?
I give no message to the Disney adult haters because I don't care.
Snaps for you, my love.
I don't. I have no message to them. My message to them would be, I think you got some shadow work to do. And I think that, I if you ever, want to talk to someone, then hopefully there's people in your lives that you could talk to, and because it's not fun to live that way. And to the Disney adults, I hope and I pray that when the next time somebody says to you, "Where are you going on your next trip?" and you say, "I'm going to Disney World," and you say it really loud and you say it really proud, and they say, "Why?" and you go, "What a question." I'm really curious why you're asking that, because look at my face. I'm super happy and I'm going, and I don't know. I'm going to have the best time and, have fun at work.
Yes.
And, I really want that. I really want us all to just be able to say it and say it really proud, because we are awesome. We are so awesome. We're so cool, guys.
Yeah.
We're so cool. Stay cool. That's my thing to the Disney adults. Stay cool.
I learned that one from you of when you say, "What a question."
I like to have fun at work. I'm using that from now on. Have fun at work.
You know what we didn't?
I mean, that's why they're mad, because I'm going somewhere and they have to go and do a spreadsheet.
You know what we didn't mention, though? It's always those people that eventually will circle back when they want to eventually go to Disney, and they'll be going like with their family.
Who are you gonna call?
Oh, can you give us advice? And then I'm like, you can go watch all of my YouTube videos, please.
Yeah.
I always direct them to your YouTube videos. I mean, the best. Love them. I watch every one of your YouTube videos. I literally just watched you at Jollywood.
Thank you.
I love you. You're the best.
Love you more.
And Joey, I'm so glad I got to hang out with you, because I love you too.
Oh,
you guys are fantastic.
I know we haven't seen each other in real life. Well, I saw you briefly at Not So Scary, but we need to see each other.
I was pretty out of it at that point, but let's go to the TWA hotel again. I had so much fun doing that with you.
Oh my God, we need to do that, even though it's so cold now.
I'm going to be in New York within the next few weeks, and we're trying to plan a Nickelodeon Universe Park Day. I mean, if you want to go, Adrian's like, oh.
Or we could just like be in the city and not go to Nickelodeon Universe.
Derek is already on board. Demi, this could be so fun if we go and do a video.
Slime!
Do some content.
Do they still do slime at Nickelodeon?
Not Nickelodeon
if they do,
Universe.
I'm doing it.
No, I covered that. It's one of my biggest videos. I covered it when it opened. It's just
let's go back.
It's expensive for what it is.
I need those coaster credits. I'm a coaster enthusiast at heart. I got six credits there that I need to add to my roster.
We will see. There's I still have to make sure I can get on all of my flights for the rest of November during this time period that we are in. I already had to reschedule one of them, so
Peppermint X fingers. Well, Adriane, we did want to send you off with something that we have just recently revived, and we're trying again with our guest because I like it. I don't know how much Demi likes it, but I like it.
Why wouldn't I like it?
Good. I don't know. It seems like something that maybe is only a Joey fantasy. Okay, so we're going to do our Park Peeps lightning round, and just say the first things that come to your mind. Don't think about it. We want your just real raw answers, okay? All right, here we go. What is the perfect park day?
Napkin. Oh no, I don't just say any word that first comes to my mind. Got it. Okay.
Napkins.
I thought it was that. I thought it was that type of thing. Okay.
Napkin. That's the perfect park day. No, you know what? Actually, we're keeping it. You're locked
Keep it in. Keep it in.
No,
napkin.
I want to hear it. What's your perfect park day?
My perfect park day is I don't want to suggest it to anybody unless they are an annual pass holder, because it includes waking up on my own internal alarm clock. I am not a rope drop.
Same.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm on vacation. I do consider Disney World a vacation. So I want to wake up when I wake up. I want to go to I want to go to Magic for a couple of hours, and I want to, I want to play the hits. I want to play my favorite rides, just the hits. And then I want to go back to the resort, and I want to go in the pool for like 2 solid hours and stare at my phone and drink a frozen drink. And then I want to get ready. I love getting ready twice in a day, and I want to get re-ready and change into a different outfit. And I want to go to either Epcot or Hollywood Studios and have a couple drinks and ride Tower of Terror or Soarin' or any of the hits. And I want to watch Happily Ever After. That would be perfect. Get back over to Magic for that. But if not, I can deal with Luminous. I like that one. You know, my day is very chill, but I play the hits a lot, and it just makes me happy, and I just want to walk around, and I just want to, like, I want to listen to the sounds. I love being able to just like sit on a bench and like take it in, because I have that privilege because I go so often. I don't have to race around. So, and it could be by myself and it could be with people. I have a great time either way.
That's an incredible park day. Napkin.
Napkins.
If you could bring one defunct attraction back, what would it be?
I would bring Maelstrom back. I was a big Maelstrom fan.
Yes.
I like it. It's not a popular answer. Sorry, unpopular opinion.
On this pod, it is.
But I don't know. Maelstrom was a big part of my childhood. Like when I was in Epcot, like we would all just be like very excited to get. We would call it the Norway ride, and we're like, we're going on the Norway ride, and like there was something about it I really missed. I missed like the smell. I missed the. It was very dark. It was like even the queue was very. It had like a darkness, but it was like I want to go to Norway, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I do. But I don't. But I do. I miss it a lot.
I missed that big nurse on the portrait. Her hair was in the wind.
And she was holding her clipboard. I thought she was a cruise director. Was she a nurse?
Wasn't she a nurse? I thought
maybe she was, but I always thought she was like a cruise director.
Oh, maybe she was. All I know is she was holding her little clipboard and that hair was going. I missed
like they have like there was like a water park where we're supposed to look like there were these like I don't know. It was just so cool, and I just miss it.
Yeah. What's your favorite bathroom at Disney and Universal?
My favorite bathroom is in Galaxy's Edge. I love that like industrial bathroom that they have. Yeah. I don't know. I love that with the big sink. I'm sorry, and you said in Universal?
Mm-hmm. Adrian doesn't really go to Universal.
I don't really go. I don't have a bathroom that pops to mind. I'm so sorry.
Actually, we didn't talk about it, but I think we should. Since you brought up Universal, I don't know if you know about this, Joey, but Adrian has like this very intriguing insight about Universal, about because goes back to Disney adults, how Universal is, some people will say, well, that's an adult park. She feels that she has.
I think it's the opposite.
Out of it.
I was a Universal kid. I was more of a Universal kid than I was a Disney kid. I was E.T. and Back to the Future and Nickelodeon. I was on a game show on Nickelodeon Studios in Universal. Like I was so hardcore Universal.
Which one?
But I'm sorry?
Which game show were you on?
It was called Out of Here. You can look at it. It's called Out of Here. It was a 90s game show that was on Nickelodeon. There was we had to pass flags around. It was not for scientists. It was not for, or child prodigies. It was not for. But I was I was hardcore Universal as a child. Those were my favorite. But then I feel like as an adult, I don't have the same connection with it. I feel like I've aged out of it. For me personally, I feel like I think that it's sandwiches. I think Disney is was for appeal to my very young self, when I was 8, and then I became Universal between 10 and 15, and then as an adult, I came back to being Disney. It kind of after my 20s, I didn't feel I don't feel very connected to it.
Interesting. Well,
yeah,
we can help change that.
I know it's not personal. Like I feel
No,
like
I get it.
I feel like I offend people when I say it.
No,
I
no,
just
no.
don't. I don't. I don't like. I've gone. I went to Epic. I won't. I've. When I go there, I play the hits too. I go on ET and I go. I love Men in Black and certain things, but I just don't. I don't get the same. I don't get the feels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get that. Now moving on with the world's longest lightning round.
Sorry.
No,
It's on me.
no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. What is your favorite park hack?
My favorite park hack. Well, I think that you know. I want to give one that's not I well, can I give one that's not really a hack, but it's like something I would recommend?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I think as people we avoid like if especially someone like me who goes a lot, I always try to figure out how to do things the quickest, how to get places the quickest.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that's helped me reconnect with my childhood, I went with my nephew. I took my nephew in August and I realized that like transportation is a ride. Like all transportation is a ride. Going on the friendship boats, going on the monorail,
Yeah.
going on those Wonka boats across the Seven Seas Lagoon. Like take time to appreciate the Disney transportation because it's something that really connects you to your childhood, and especially if you bring children really like. I remember my nephew, like we were having dinner at the Yacht and Beach Club at the Cape May Cafe, and I was like, well, we can just walk over to Epcot, and he was like, we can't take the boat. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, and I was like, no, let's take the boat. We're gonna take the
It's
boat.
gonna take
Yeah.
And
twice as long.
it added time, but I saw him watching out the window on the boat, and I was like,
Worth
oh,
it.
I stopped doing that, and I'm always like quickest Ubers, blah blah blah. Now I'm like, you know what? I gotta factor that in. It's not a hack, but I think it's a thing to remember and to make your Disney trip better.
It's an emotional hack.
I
I
love
think that
that.
counts.
Emotional
Yeah,
hack.
that
I
counts.
made that very clear of like when I went with my cousins and we took the kids. I was like, we have to do the monorail before we do go to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
The monorail's a ride.
I'm not gonna like make us a reservation for Steakhouse 71 and go to breakfast there and then walk over. No, we are going to the monorail at the TTC, and I have their whole trip video, and that's like in the beginning, and I see my little girl who's like she was so little then, and she was just like like looking around on the monorail, and it's so cute.
You can't beat it. And you just hearing the ding, you want like I would play the monorail loop when I was a child if I could. I would try to find it and I would play it because it just really like I that's what I would like between Disney trips as a child. I'd think about the monorail. So it's like it is such an important aspect of it.
All right, back to lightning round. What is your favorite non-Disney, non-Universal park?
Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
Yes.
That was my first theme park I ever went to.
Love.
And I haven't been in a long time, but
go.
that one made me fall in love with theme park. I would love to.
Go.
They used to have this saying when you'd get on the ride, and it'd be like, like when the ride was about to take off, it'd go, and enjoy your day at Busch Gardens, the old country. And I love that. I wish they still did that. But I mean, like the Big Bad Wolf was my first ride, and I had the shirt that said I survived the Big Bad Wolf at 5 years old.
I did too.
You did?
Yes.
No
I was
way!
too scared to ride it. And they're
That was my
actually
first
That was the
coaster.
greatest
they're
ride.
retheming Verbolten. I would love to go back. We should all plan a trip.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm down. I haven't been in forever. I miss it. I miss the beer garden. They had
I know, I
like
love
the brow house.
Let's go.
It's a fantastic park.
All right, what is your favorite place to drink in the parks?
Right now it's Hollywood Studios.
Just in general, Hollywood Studios?
You mean like you want a specific locate? I do like Baseline, but that kind of can sometimes feel like it's not as theme parky, but I love sitting there. But right now I'm really appreciating Hollywood Studios as a drinking park because there's places to sit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who doesn't love some Glenn Miller band playing in the background? I love the vibes of the music. And especially around Echo Lake, like the string lights on the boat and then like the lights on the Grumman's Chinese Theater. Like, I love just sitting there and having a drink and vibing out. I think it's such a vibe. It's underrated.
Yes.
I don't usually tell people because I don't want them to come. I want them to stay at Epcot. No, I'm just kidding. No, check out Hollywood Studios. Fun drinking park. Underrated.
I did a whole drinking around Hollywood video. Everyone should go check that out. It's great.
Nice.
I love doing that. What is your most embarrassing park moment?
Oh man. How much time do we have? Oh man. Well, so I was a cast member. I was in the college program. So I remember, I'll tell you this one. I worked at ABC Commissary in Hollywood Studios, and they would tell us, like, if they had too many staff, they'd say go in front, and they'd give us like a frisbee, like me and another cast member, and they'd like just throw it back and forth and like throw it to the people. Right on the head. The first throw, I knocked man right on the head, and I literally was told, like, please go back inside. Like, you can't do this. You're gonna have to go wipe down tables. So that was pretty embarrassing.
Love that.
Love it.
But there's many, but that one's one that sticks out where I'm like, oof.
That's perfect. Love that
we
visual.
kind of touched on this earlier, but when was the last time you cried in a park and why?
Oh, the last trip.
Yeah.
I cry every trip. I allow myself to do that. I give myself emotional permission to do that. It's in the same way that, like, when you go to funerals, they play that freaking organ because they want you to cry. They want you to release. That's why, like, that's what it's there for. And so when I'm at the parks, I'm like, if I feel a little bit touched, I say it's okay. So the last time I was there, I cried when I cried from laughing on Tower of Terror, which I think is always a good cry at Disney
That
too.
counts.
People don't say that, but I got a little emotional when I was at Magic Kingdom. I had an emotional moment at Magic Kingdom, and it was in the daytime, and we just went to Beacon Barrel, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really like a fun experience, and it was one of those. Like, I was proud of Disney in a way, because I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, they did this one the right way. And then I was like walking down Main Street, and I saw like just a kid with a balloon, which always gets me. And like, he's holding the balloon and he's smiling, and I just teared up. And so it was like, I think sometimes things compound. Like, if a lot of things go well,
Yeah.
then I see like one touching thing, and a lot of times that's to do with a balloon. I don't know why. I probably should do some shadow work on that.
Shadow work.
But yeah, I cried. I cried watching the fireworks of the first night of the holiday party, and it wasn't even there.
Oh.
So yeah.
And finally,
Right,
I think I know the answer to this, but who are your park peeps?
You. My park peeps are myself first. I love myself as a park. Going solo is my favorite person to go with.
Yeah.
Now I have a lot of friends that go with my friend. I think he was on your podcast.
Yep.
Mike Molinari.
Shout out to Mike.
Is one of my best friends. Yeah. And Travel Agent Williams, one of my best friends. Those are my like peep core group that I go with a lot. But myself first. And my sister is like, so if she can, but now she's got kids, so I've had to kind of like, pivot.
Yeah.
So,
well,
but
I think that saying yourself is a great answer. Nobody's ever said that before on our pod, so I love that. No, I think that's perfect.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, we've survived the battle with Adriane as our great leader. Thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Please follow all of her accounts and beyond at HeyAdriane _ on Instagram, and just HeyAdriane on TikTok and the Drunk History podcast. And keep up with our Disney adulting at Park Peeps Pod on socials. And please make sure you are subscribed to our free Substack for more tea and bonus content at parkpeepspodcast.substack.com.
Thank you again to Adriane. We love you so much. And
thank you guys.
We're going to hang out soon. And everyone else, don't forget to follow me, Demi, at Magical Hijinks. That's HIJINX. And Joey at Joey Nulfi. And stay tuned next week for another all new episode, you Disney adults. Bye.